It's the last Wednesday of the month, and that means two things. We're all out of Wednesdays until the Wednesday truck turns up with a fresh new delivery next month, and the Frontier Unlocked livestream is airing. It's the latter of those things that concerns us today, and in this video we're breaking down everything we just learnt about the upcoming Vanguards update to Elite Dangerous. On the livestream this evening, to go through all things Vanguards, game designer Curtis Griffiths was the guest presenter, and the first thing the team talked about was the name Vanguards itself. As we already know, Vanguards is a refreshing or reimagining of the existing Squadron system in the game, and there was some talk at Frontier initially of renaming these to Vanguards, but for the sake of clarity and simplicity that idea has apparently been shelved, and whilst the update will still be called Vanguards, the name Squadrons will still remain for your squadron. With that out of the way then, Curtis and the team went through exactly what Vanguards will be introducing. Out of the gate, the plan of what is essentially a ground up rebuild of the Squadron system was to make it more user friendly, remove some of the friction points, make the system have more value to new players coming into the game, and give being a member of a squadron more of a definite identity in the game. The team showed some new work in progress UI elements that squad leaders will work through. Many of the elements will be familiar to anyone in a squadron at the moment, but they have been given a definite visual overhaul, as well as adding a lot more customizable options. As well as a squadron name and 4-digit ID or tag, you will also have a motto that can be set by the leaders to help identify a bit more about the squadron's ethos and internal identity. To complement this idea, there is also a customizable free text mission statement that can tell prospective members a bit more about what your community's goals and objectives are. This customization also extends to choosing any number of activities that your squadron engages in from a selection box list, and you can also set affiliations for superpowers, supported minor factions and power play factions. But it's here that the reworked system then really starts to show why it's different and of more value than that of the current offering. The system allows the squadron leadership to select 2 perks for the members to enjoy as part of their membership. Whilst Frontier were keen to stress that the system is still a work in progress, they did show some examples of the sort of thing that you can likely expect to see. The perks ranged from things like increased Pilots Federation rank gains, higher mining fragment yields, increased team combat rewards, or decreased colonization claim costs, etc. The perks have to be identified as a primary and a secondary perk. The primary perk will always be active no matter where a given member is in the galaxy. The secondary perk will only be active if the member is in a system that is under the control of a minor faction that the squadron has been aligned to. On the subject of giving a squadron a greater sense of identity, you will be able to design your own logo from a predetermined set of icons across 3 layers, and those icons and their backgrounds can also be recoloured again from a palette of preset colours. As well as appearing on the homepage in the game, players will also be able to run a squadron decal that will display the same custom logo. When browsing for a squadron to join, as well as being able to see logos, mottos and affiliations and activities etc. favoured by that group, players will be able to see the full roster of players in the squadron, as well as how active it is and also whether any of their existing circle of friends are also members. The existing leaderboard system will also be revamped with Vanguards, and as well as the existing overall rankings, there will also be a ranking system for the top achieving players within squadrons overall. This will give smaller squadrons the ability to compete with larger ones in different rank tables. Internally right now there are 5 ranks with configurable levels of access to manage a squadron. For Vanguards, that limit is being increased to 15, with 10 more fully customizable ranks being added to the existing 5, and those ranks and the level of access and features they grant access to are going to be very important. One of the bigger new features coming to the system is that of a squadron bank, and access to view or withdraw from that bank is controlled by those ranks. The bank itself was shown, and as well as housing credits, it also has tabs for commodities, personal assets and ships. Personal assets wasn't expanded upon specifically, but the logo for it in the bank is a backpack, and we're guessing that this could possibly mean that on-foot engineering materials, which can already be exchanged player to player, may well be included here. FDev were at pains to point out that the ships section comes with some restrictions that mean the vessels in it won't be able to hold engineered modules, but you could, for example, store fully A-rated vessels in there for your members to try out. If you're going to store entire vessels for your members in a bank, then the obvious question is perhaps where are these vessels stored? And the answer to that question is on board the squadron's very own fleet carrier. The new squadron fleet carrier will function in a similar way to the current personal fleet carrier, and again, access to control the carrier will be restricted by ranks within the squad, but the vessel itself is significantly larger than the personal carrier. In the images shown, we counted at least 32 landing pads, which makes it twice the size of the personal fleet carrier. We're presuming there will be a credit value to this thing, and whilst Frontier weren't specific about it on the live stream, almost certainly an upkeep cost as well. We're guessing members can contribute towards the cost of buying a fleet carrier, but what about upkeep costs? Assuming there are upkeep costs and that those costs come from the squadron bank balance, how is that balance topped up? Does it mean there is a tax on players for being in a squadron, or is the bank balance topped up by colonisation funds obtained through affiliated faction-owned colonies or star systems? Comms, particularly when assisting new players, are absolutely vital, and communication within a squadron is really currently mostly handled by outside applications such as Discord, as the chat channels within the game currently tend to be rather transitory and clunky to use. As part of the revamp, I'm very pleased to say there will now be an internal bulletin board for members to post messages, and for current standing orders or goals to be easily pinned. The squad chat channel can also be accessed directly from this screen. This then looks to be a positive update on what is currently a very bare bones system in the game, and it does seem that it will bring it much more in line with the sort of system that you would expect to find in an MMO guild or similar player organisation structure. Right now the update is still loosely scheduled for summer this year, alongside the release of the Panther Clipper Mark II, and FDev did make a point of saying that whilst they weren't talking about the Panther Clipper this month, it will be the subject of next month's live stream. Are you part of a squadron in the game already? If you're not, will the new system tempt you to join one? And what else would you like to see from Vanguards? Let us know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe to the channel so that you see all our videos and community posts, and if you'd like to support our work here at the Buur Pit, you can also join us on Patreon. Links to that and everything else we've talked about in this video you'll find linked below. That's it for now. Thanks very much for watching. We very much look forward to seeing you next time.